And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus on this hump day, January 14th, 2026. Temperatures outside in the single digits across much of the area. There's slightly warmer weather out to our west in the teens. And this is the coldest day we've had in quite some time. We've been spoiled so far this month. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with our Ag Director, Bridgette Readel. Bridgette, how's your day going there so far?
Oh, I would say this cold weather is not unexpected, and I'm glad the wind died down. Last night, overnight winds, probably around 10 o'clock, were sounded pretty brutal. I mean, I didn't go out there and stand and chuck them, but just from the comfort of my couch, they seemed awful. So glad that's better.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, I'll tell you what, we haven't had much snow yet this season. We're a good 10 inches below normal, but we're going to start adding to that over the next week or so as we get a colder weather that is going to push into the area, and along with that, some wind as well. Now, today is going to be a quiet day. We're looking at temperatures out there reaching between about 10 and 15 for afternoon highs today, with those northwest winds about 5 to 10. Now, tonight we'll see an increase in clouds, and we'll bottom out near 10 above, then see temperatures rising towards morning as winds turn to the southeast at about 10 to 20. Then for your Thursday, look for cloudy skies. It's going to be a mild day for this time of the year, low to mid 30s across the area, with winds out of the west at about 10 to 25. And then an Arctic front hits Thursday night. Overnight after midnight, between midnight and about 6 in the morning, we'll see an Arctic front blast through. With that, we'll see some snow showers, and then behind that front during the day on Friday, we're going to see windy conditions develop out of the north, along with snow showers throughout the entire day. Now, we're looking for about 1 to 2 inches. Now, that 1 to 2 inches won't occur until probably end of Friday. Looks like Friday night. That's when the snow will wind down and we'll see our 1 to 2 inches. During the peak wind, we will see snow showers Friday afternoon, Friday morning into Friday afternoon, reducing visibility. And again, some pretty slick travel. I'm not looking for widespread blizzard conditions, but there will be periods during the day on Friday where those visibilities get reduced to a quarter mile or less for a short period of time. But I don't think we're going to see blizzard warnings issued for the valley. I just don't think we're going to see the criteria met for that, which has to be quarter mile or less for 3 or more hours. So I don't think we're going to quite see that, but we will see periods of that. So keep that in mind. If you have travel plans on Friday, you might want to alter those. Maybe push them to Saturday or get your travel done on Thursday, because the weekend does look quieter, although we do see another clipper system coming in on Sunday with some more light snow across the area. And this weather has been brought to you this afternoon by Progressive Ag Risk Management Specialists. So a little taste of winter, Bridgette. Again, it's not going to be the storm of the century, but it will impact travel if you have any travel plans on Friday. Are you on the road? I would lay money that you're going to be on the road on Friday.
I would say there was plans for that. Yes.
Right. I
Yeah.
figured. The weather always seems to follow you.
Well, I got to try to work around it as best we can.
Right.
But yes, that does tend to be a problem. Some of the other things, though, that aren't a problem, well, they're the ways that you can connect to us. And especially on Friday, if the road conditions are poor, we'd love to hear where you are, what it looks like, where you're at. So you can reach us on the JLA Insurance phone line. That number is 701-293-9000. You could also send us emails, because our email is powered by Superior Grain Equipment, making sure you have superior grain storage, drying, and handling solutions. And you would find us ag@flagfamily.com or weather@flagfamily.com. Also, that live stream brought to us by Lighthouse Commodities. Interesting enough, Lighthouse Commodities is part of a event next week out in Bismarck. So the details for that, I'm going to turn my page here, one thing at a time. That is going to be at 10 a.m. next week, Tuesday. That's the 20th. Mark your calendar to join Lighthouse Commodities. Also, they'll be there with BW Fusion. With Lighthouse Commodities, you're going to have a straight talk discussion on the markets and some actionable ideas that apply directly to you, Mr. Farmer, or Miss Farmer in some cases. So you can sign up for that event, but Lighthouse Commodities is very helpful at making sure that you can see us every day on our live streams, Facebook, YouTube, Acres TV. If you're interested in being in Bismarck for that meeting on the 20th, you can just go ahead and drop me an email, ag@plaguefamily.com, and I will connect you. Make sure that you get there. I don't know where I will be yet that day. There's about 4 events to be at next like every day next week. So some days I'll be in the Coral Laundromat studio. Some days I will be elsewhere, and we haven't quite confirmed where all of those places might be yet.
Oh,
Now,
uh,
that Coral Laundromat studio, by the way, we thought of something over the weekend that would be a perfect place or a perfect item to take to the Coral Laundromat. It's winter. Many of you have invested in those heavy blankets, the weighted ones that y'all like at night, right? Because you get a little cool in the house. You got those nice weighted blankets. How do you wash them? Because if I try to put that on the spin cycle in my regular washing machine, my washing machine is going to walk itself down the hall to a bedroom and take up residence. So with 80-pound capacity over at Coral Laundromat, I think I'm going to take my heavy blanket there and have them make sure it gets cleaned for me. I can just drop it off, pay by Venmo, pick it up later. Kind of sounds like a perfect setup for me.
a lot easier too.
A lot easier. It's Wednesday. We have Wednesday weather trivia. Oh, we are going to need a Vegas qualifier today. Addison, I'm looking at you, please. We're going to need to know who that person is because we want to make sure that we can get them registered for that vacation package to Las Vegas. That will be on February 14th in Las Vegas to see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. You would also receive airfare for 2 3-night hotel stay and $500 cash. Now, if you haven't registered yet, what you can do is go to our website, WDAYradionow.com, put your name in, click on the button for the Vegas vacation, and then wait to hear us call your name during our shows here on WDAY and the flag. And as we call your name, you have 11 minutes to call us and make sure that you are registered to join us at Kingpins on February 3rd to win the trip to Vegas. We're kind of on a stretch here where we've been getting a fair number of our qualifiers calling in. I mean, we've had like 4 out of the last 5. Today should not be any different. Come on, Team Weather and Ag and Focus. Let's get it together. Let's be paying attention. Let's get those qualifiers in. That's what we like to hear.
Should we do that now before we go to break, Bridgette, or you want to wait till the towards the end of the show?
I like it when we mix it up. We should do it now, as long as Addison's got a body for us.
All right, Addison's ready. So today's qualifier is Juanita Schill of Hawley, I believe. Yeah, Juanita Schill of Hawley. You have 11 minutes to call, 701-293-9000. Again, if you know Juanita Schill, of Hawley, let her know. If she's not listening, tell her, hey, you got to call in and qualify for that Vegas Valentine's Day trip. Again, that's Juanita Schill of Hawley. You have about 10 minutes to call, 701-293-9000. Good luck, Juanita. Hopefully she's
maybe
listening.
I should find her. Yeah, I wonder if I can Google her or Facebook stalk her and just give her an update. I'm like, quick, call us on the JLA Insurance phone line, 701-293-9000. Let's get it together. We'd like to see that happen. It'll be a lot of fun. Later on today, we are also going to be joined by our guest, Mike Neff. He is with Summit Agro. And we're going to talk about some of these biological products that are out in the marketplace. Biologicals have really come on strong in the last 5 years as alternatives in some cases to conventional fungicides, insecticides, etc., or supplementary to what we're doing with our consistently used pesticides. But where did they come from? How do we use them? What kind of some of the tips and tricks to those biologicals, and how do we sort out the good from the bad? Well, Mike Neff works in that space, and I think Mike's going to be a pretty good resource to sort of help us out, and then also give us a heads up on a new entry into the biological market for some of our farmers to be paying attention to. So we get to do all of that after we find our qualifier, Juanita Schill of Hawley. You could be the Vegas vacation winner, but you got to call us. And also, we're going to get the livestock market update from the American Ag Network. So, Juanita, call us on the JLA Insurance phone line. Everybody else, hang on for Mike Neff. So much excitement here at the Coral Laundromat studio because you're here listening, watching maybe. If you're listening over the air, watching on Acres TV, you'll be seeing us via the help from Lighthouse Commodities, but you can watch us on YouTube, Acres TV, as well as Facebook. And if you want to send emails with questions, you can do that because our inboxes are powered by Superior Grain Equipment, and you can send me emails, ag@flagfamily.com. We are looking forward to hearing from Juanita Schill today of Holly. We want to hear from Juanita because she needs to qualify so she can go see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere in Vegas. We'd be thrilled to give her that opportunity. And then I'm going to need a full report. Hear what exactly that was like and how much fun it was, because my understanding is it's very interactive. If you ever took your kids to Disney World to see Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, when the dog sprayed slobber everywhere, raindrops fell in the room, right? Or there was wind, etc. So I think this will be incredibly interactive at the Sphere as well. So as we get ready to join our next guest, that'll be Mike Neff with Summit Agro, and our discussion today about some of the biological products in our ag market. Before we do that, there is a headline here that I wanted to touch on, and it has to do with that big old microchip in your pocket, the one that used to be the size of a room, your phone, and its computing power is so much better than anything that we had in the years past, right? That's just improved tremendously. Well, when you look at what we can do with cell phones today, a number of things come to mind. One of them is the towers that sit in regions and connect us with other people. The U.S. has a large and growing number of cell phone towers. It's estimated about 142,000 traditional towers. That means over 50 feet tall across the U.S., and thousands more smaller ones that give us over 400,000 cell phone towers across the country. There's actually a company now that specializes in helping you as the landowner in negotiating the contracts for those towers, and it's JP Tower Consulting. Okay, I need everybody to remember, because you're the landowner does not necessarily mean you're the farmer. So landowners can negotiate the contracts and leases for these towers, but they don't always have the input from the farmer who's farming that specific piece of land. As a landowner, I'd like to encourage you to make sure to talk to your renters, especially if they're long-term renters, when it comes to negotiating some of these leases, in regards to the fact that where should the accessibility go for access roads? What can you expect for maintenance and upkeep, and so much more? Well, landowners have these types of questions, and it's been found by the JP Tower Consulting Company that a lot of these contracts have been under negotiated. They looked at it as found money because the average cell tower contract that was reviewed was by more than $850,000 over its lifetime due to low initial rent. So that also added up because of missing revenue sharing options for additional carriers and more. So really, it's probably not a bad idea to have someone review this lease with you and help to negotiate it. Some of the things that you really want to make sure that you have are clear termination protocols, site restoration duties, rights of way defined. That helps to preserve the ability to farm or to lease or to do other things. So if you're looking at negotiating these towers like that go up all the time. There's a new one within my line of sight 3 miles away that would have also been negotiated with a landowner. So I just look at this as it's an opportunity for you to consider a secondary income as the landowner. But if you're not actively farming it, if you are cash renting, have that conversation with your cash renter just to make sure that everything goes smoothly. You don't want to put a access road for the tower right over the top of a tile line and then collapse a tile line in time, right? Things like that. You just want to make sure you're doing the right things. So, Dean, I thought you would find this very interesting. I have some key cell phone tower statistics for you.
Can't wait.
Take a little guess. How many text messages are sent every day in the United States?
Oh, wow. It's in the millions, I'm guessing.
I know the 157,000 that you do daily, but besides you, everybody else.
Oh boy. Each day, I'm
each
gonna
day.
I'm gonna guess. Oh boy, 10 million.
It's only slightly overshot. It's actually 6 billion.
Whoa!
Oh, because you said 10 million. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need you to go to a B. This was 6 billion.
Woof.
Yes.
Jeez.
Now, cell phone ownership in the United States, 98% of us have a phone.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That doesn't leave a lot of people behind. I don't know if that's your burner phone or your real phone. You guys can, I'm not your priest or your mother. You can confess that to whomever you
Right.
need to. Uh, but there are 540 million phones connected just in the United States.
Wow. Now, what did
And
we
it's,
do? It makes you
go ahead.
wonder how we communicated, and we did it just fine, back in the
Mhm.
70s before, there were cell phones. I mean, we had regular phones, the rotary phones. These kids probably don't
Well,
know what we're talking about, but it was,
but your kids played outside with the neighbors, and you just assumed they were all out there and they were fine.
yep.
You said you were going to be somewhere on a landline, and you just showed up. You didn't change all your plans. Um, I actually have a picture of what I saw was the last working um, payphone, and this was over in Minnesota. I saw it in Borup, Minnesota, and I think I still have that picture on my phone. I took it like 3 years ago.
Awesome. Now, what I would like to know, so you said 98% of the U.S.
Hmm.
Has cell phones. How
Yes.
many, I'd like to know the percentage of how many have landlines still.
Oh, I think that's, if you think about it, that like the teeter-totter, right?
Right.
Where everybody had a landline and we were just getting like the bag phone, which by the way was still the greatest phone ever because you always got service.
Right.
And then you see that teeter-totter flip and it was sort of balancing out for a while. We all had both. And just by judging by the size of the phone book I still get from my local telephone cooperative, it's changed quite drastically. And for those of us who still live in an area where a cell phone behaves as though it's 1997, you need a landline in some cases. I may have a tower that's within line of sight to me, but that doesn't mean it's the tower for my carrier, right? So there's some big differences there, and you can even have multiple carriers per tower. So the cell phones are still a little bit of a mystic opportunity for many people.
Okay. Okay. I had to Google it. So I had to Google what percentage of the U.S. still has landlines.
Hmm.
And now this was back from a survey in 22-23, where at that point it said around 76% rely solely on cell phones. So back in 22-23, that was the last survey done, less than 30% of the households had a landline. So I would
If we're
imagine.
looking at households, I bet it's fallen in half from that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say 15 or 20. Yeah, without a doubt.
Hmm.
Without a doubt.
Well, if you're a landowner and or farmer and you are looking at some of the opportunities with these cell phone towers and negotiating those leases, I just thought this was interesting that there's a company completely dedicated to helping you do that, and it's JP Tower Consulting. So that those who didn't get the name the first time may want to write that down, because whether it's cell phone towers, wind towers, solar panels, we're seeing more and more of those secondary income opportunities coming up for farmers in our region. Yesterday, there was an article about there's a conference held in Minnesota by the U of M every year called the Agrivoltex, and they took folks to a pasture where solar panels had been built up, and they were built up high enough so that cattle could graze underneath them. So it was kind of shady, right? You didn't have to buy a separate cattle shade for those animals, and they could be uh, nice and cool underneath there. And there's even been some work done that depending on the color of your panels, you can raise like tomatoes and so forth under there as a secondary crop, because the panel would allow enough of the right UV light to reach the plant. So there's quite a few different things that are changing for us. And again, one of those is biologicals and how they've impacted our market for pest control. And we're going to visit next with Mike Neff. He's with Summit Agro. We're going to talk about some of those products coming up right after the news. Is all of your cybersecurity going smoothly? Have you checked? Well, now would be a perfect time for you to do the fence check assessment done online at techsupport.farm. Chris Sherman is a regular feature here with our cybersecurity superhero segment. And Chris makes sure that we're talking about passwords and so much more protection. I mean, passwords are kind of just the basic beginning. And I was with him this morning when we spoke to a group of organic growers here in the region. And one of the things we talked about was, okay, if you've got a password and you think it's solid, have you figured out to make sure to do the munging where you're replacing the A with an at sign or an E with a 3? And then don't get on all that public Wi-Fi. Every time you're in an airport or somewhere, don't do that because it's way too easy for people to see that you're online and try to tap into, especially like your laptops and so forth. So, and often what I find is it just slows me down. Even if I'm at a hotel and I get on the hotel Wi-Fi, it's usually slower than if I didn't use it at all. Very unusual. Today is Wednesday for Wednesday Weather Trivia, and as we wait to connect with our guest, Dean, do you know who or what our trivia question is going to be today? Maybe we can. Well, Addison's connecting our guest, so we can't overload Addison. But
And he does have our guest. I was going to say we could do it right now, but as long as Addison does have our guest, we will hold off on the trivia question until the very towards the end of the show.
Perfect. Well, we'll get to trivia after a little bit because we don't want to hold up our guest today. That's Mike Neff. He's with Summit Agro. Mike, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
So, Mike, you have been in the ag input business for quite some time. You've worked in the area of fertilizer, seed, etc. But there's sort of this new entry, or at least a lot of people still feel that it's new when it comes to the biologicals. Do you know a little bit about the background and how these things started to catch attention and some of the, some of the market dynamics that go with them?
Yeah, so you're right. I've been in the ag retail or production agriculture most of my career. Still active today with our family farm. And it was instilled at me at a young age by my father and grandfather that we needed to leave the land better than we found it. And both my grandfather and father were very big into conservation, tillage, and just trying to do things the right way. And, I think we're all aware of the hypoxia that gets brought up occasionally down in the Gulf of Mexico or in Iowa. We hear about what goes on with Des Moines Waterworks with nitrogen. And I think that's a lot that has driven this conversation you and I are having along with Dean today about how can we do more with less. And when I say less with synthetics, be it a fertilizer, chemistry, what have you. And that's kind of what our message is with Summit Agro now today.
So as you think about some of those products, it's not just as far as disease control, but it can be other pests as well, perhaps insects. Even weed control has started to see some new entries in with biological products, correct?
It has. We've got a couple. We have a couple of insecticides that are purely biopesticides. They're organic. There's not a synthetic piece to them. They've been adapted quite well in the what we would call the horseshoe, P&W, down to California, Texas, and around up to Maine. It's the specialty market that we're all aware of with blueberries, grapes, etc. And that business is certainly growing. The consumer is asking for what they would say is a healthier product, right? There's a lot of concern about too much synthetics being applied today.
That's a really good point. We're all looking for something slightly different, less chemistry based, even though even some of those products that come out as biologicals, they still have a chemistry basis behind them, right? You're doing the work to have a consistent, high performing products. And one of the things that comes to mind for me is your Readel HBX, which as a fungicide is bringing what we've done in the past with synthetics, but we're bringing it forward in a much better tox package, etc., to the field. Am I saying all that right?
Yeah, so we pronounce it Regev. But That's quite all right. So yeah, we have two products. We have the original flagship, which was Regev. That fits our more specialty crops, the sugar beets, potatoes, grapes, those types of crops. And then we have Regev HBX that you just mentioned. That was designed more to get into the soybean market, the dry beans, rice, those types of crops. Um, Both are a hybrid, what we call hybrid technology of difenconazole, which is a synthetic
Hmm.
group 3 fungicide, and TT extract. And tea tree extract falls into what is called the botanical mode O1 category. So we bring the best of, as I view this, Bridget, we bring the best of both. We're bringing a very solid triazole with a botanical, if you would like,
Hmm.
formulated and now delivering one of the best products on the market. It's labeled those two products together, both Regev and Regev HBX, are today labeled on over 20 crops across the United States.
Okay, when you talk about a triazole, that's tried and true. I guess that maybe sounds a little funny together, but we've used those triazole chemistries for some time and they've been incredibly successful in our disease management packages. But you added tea tree extract to it. And this is probably going to sound a little insolent, and I apologize about that. I have tea tree extract in my shampoo. Why are we using it with a triazole in a plant on plants in a field?
Well, that's a great point. Yes, you do have it in your shampoo. And I think first and foremost, that speaks to the safety of this product, right? If
Yes.
we can put it into our shampoo today, everyone should feel highly confident that it's not going to then cause any crop response when you spray it on your sugar beets, your grapes, your potatoes, whatever crop you're applying it to. Tea tree oil was actually so the Regev platform. I'll back up here quickly. The Regev platform was developed by Dr. Eric Tedford, who works with Summit Agro for Summit Agro today. He's a globally
Uh-huh.
recognized fungicide expert. His work in his career has shaped disease management programs around the world. He was a global fungicide manager for a major crop protection company. And after his retirement and his subsequent move to Summit Agro, uh, he started looking at what we just talked about. How can we build products that can do more using less, or just start breaking up that 3, 7, and 11 fungicide use that we have known for over 20 years? And Dr. Tedford went through a myriad of products, Bridget, both fungicides, 3, 7, 11s, as well as other botanical biostimulants. Uh, 2 years of trial work before he found the fit, the product that is now Regev and Regev HBX. And Dr. Tedford, has told me multiple times that he had to make sure that it worked in his world with his mind before he could launch it. So we did 2 years of data before it ever became before it ever became Regev in 2020. And then a year later, we brought Regev HBX. So this is the tried and true product. It's not just a product that came out in the last year. We have over 4 years of trial data on both products, and we are the only company that I'm aware of today that offers a hybrid fungicide like Regev and Regev HBX that can deliver that multi-year university and third-party performance data that supports the value that they use.
Talk about Regev as far as disease targets, because there's some things here that we've fought for some time. And it's nice to see that is a different approach to those diseases that you can provide for us.
Yeah. So Regev, of course, is the original product. I'll give you a little brief overview of the formulation of both products. Both of
Please.
them, both Regev HBX at 8.5 fluid ounces per acre, delivers 4.58 fluid ounces of difenconazole. In Regev, in that same 8.5 fluid ounces, we deliver 29.8 fluid ounces of tea tree oil. In Regev
Okay.
HBX, we deliver half of that, 14.98. So it's a very heavy loaded fungicide when we start looking at it that way. We deliver one of the
Mm-hmm.
highest rates of difenconazole within, in that industry. So when we talk Regev, potatoes, sugar beets, that's going to hit the majority of probably your listeners today. Black dot
Mm-hmm.
in potatoes is big, Rhizoctonia, and then in sugar beets, our main product and our main crop in when we move over to sugar beets, when we move over to sugar beets, is Cercospora leaf spot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I think as your growers know, CLS has really become a struggle bus in the sugar beet
Yes.
industry. And we have proven through university and third-party trials in the valley, Red River Valley, that we can provide as good, if not better, control of CLS in sugar beets while improving not only ton of beets per acre, but we can also increase and show we have increased extractable sugar percentage, pounds of sugar per ton, pounds of sugar per acre, and sugar purity.
Those are important factors for quality grades and for sugar bonuses, etc.
Yes. I'm not a sugar beet person. I'm truly corn and soybean, but I'm learning quite a bit about the beets. But yes, I think those are pretty, as I tell people, right, as I talk into the soybean market, oil content is extremely important in some areas with soybeans. Those are clearly important there. When we go back to the potatoes, we've got the data that also shows we've been able to improve the bags, the 100-weight production in potatoes as well with Regev.
Well, unfortunately, I only have time to ask this last idea or question for you, Mike, and that is, in the past when we were mixing our tank mixes and we talked about adding a fungicide into that spray tank mix for sugar beets, and we would treat that fungicide often like an oil additive, like an oil adjuvant. And we wanted to be careful that we didn't overload our spray tank mix, especially on nice, warm, sunny days where we could see crop response by bronzing the leaves. What I heard you say is with the tea tree extract, we would have a lot less concern about that. So our overall plant health is much better with a product like this as well.
100%, Bridgette. So we are an extract from the tea tree. So if a grower is going to apply whatever's in that tank mix, and I'll apologize, I'm not familiar with what else, with the entire tank mix program on beets, but no, 100%. We are as safe as any product you will ever apply. The difenconazole, of course, is very, very safe to use. The tea tree oil is wildly safe. It's in your shampoo. I think that's one of the best telltale signs, right? So we clearly won't have any problem with crop response in any crop, be it a soybean, be it a dry bean, rice, pecans. We don't have it, and we have yet to have a crop response issue anywhere. So as your growers are looking for options in 2026 to build just a stronger, more crop resilient product, plant health wise, I think either Regev or Regev HBX would be tremendous opportunities.
Oh, I think you piqued the interest of a number of folks out there, especially with next week's Dry Edible Bean and Sugar Beet Expo in Grand Forks at the Alaris. And I believe that's on Wednesday and Thursday next week. I got to check my calendar because there's a lot going on. So, Mike, where can folks find you as far as more questions, your website, and so forth?
Yeah, so reach out to www.summitagroUSA.com. Once you go there, you are able to see all of our products that we have easily listed. If you go to the top right of our website where it says contact, hey, please fill out your name, address, phone number, where you live, what crops you're looking at, what products you're looking at, and we will get back to you as soon as we get that message very quickly.
And for those of us who will be at happy hour the night before Agronomy on Ice, that'll be Tuesday, February 3rd, in Devil's Lake at Pros Lakeside. Mike will be there, and he'll be able to answer all your questions as well. So thanks for joining us today, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bridget. Appreciate it very much. And by the way, we are one of the 30% that still has that landline phone. So if you guys are keeping a
Oh,
score on your, if you're keeping score on your chalkboard, mark us down.
That's awesome.
I'm,
I love
yep,
it.
gonna do it.
I love it. Well, when we come back, we're going to have our weather trivia for your chance to win one of our productive alternative rain gauges. And if we have time, we'll hit a couple of ag topics. All of that when we come back. And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:56 in the afternoon. It's time for our weather trivia. And I said before break, we're going to give away one of our rain gauges, but we do have a new prize. I totally spaced that we're giving away. It's called Bait Up. And Addison, if you want to throw that up on our live stream, it's your own personal bait bucket. It's kind of neat. I like it. So you have a chance to win that if you can answer today's weather trivia question, which is, North Dakota has seen snow in every month except which month hasn't it snowed in North Dakota? 701-293-9000 for a chance to win one of our Bait Up personal bait buckets. Again, the trivia question is, it has snowed in North Dakota in every month except there's one month where we have not had snow recorded in North Dakota. What month is that? We got a caller on line one. Caller, what's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin, what is your guess?
August.
You are correct. All right. Did you know that offhand, or did you have to Google it?
No, I just figured I've seen it in April, June, and July here, and I go September, not too real, but August.
That's a good deduction.
All right. Awesome. Well, Kevin, congratulations. You know where our studios are?
Yes, sir. You've heard me 1,000 times.
I
got
thought
a
so.
bait bucket now.
Yeah, you should already know how to get here, right?
I've got a rain gauge waiting for me.
Oh, do you? Okay. All right. Well,
Yes, he does.
Well, it was the speed of the raindrops falling.
That's
I won
right.
that one. That's sitting up there.
Yep.
That was November 19th, and now today, and I go, oh my God, you guys! You know what I'm trying to give you and Bridgette, Dean?
What? What?
The fastest call in, the 13 seconds, 10-second call in for the Valentine's giveaway, and my name has not been drawn. So I start with Bonnie at 7 hour. I go over to Kevin's 8 o'clock hour. I come back to Bonnie and not Bonnie. Janae and Ronnie's at the 9 o'clock hour. I end up with Steve Hallstrom's, and then we got a dead spot, and then I hit yours, and I go, I can't stay up for Jay.
Well, Kevin, congratulations. Hopefully we do call your name for our Valentine's giveaway. And, feel free to swing by the station, pick up your prize, Kevin. Addison.
I'll get there eventually.
Awesome. All right. Good deal, Kevin. Well, that'll do it for today on Weather and Ag in Focus. Don't go anywhere. The Jay Thomas Show, that's coming up next.